I feel very proud to be special guest of honor at this commissioning ceremony of the corporate headquarters of the Post-Service Housing Development Limited. I recall a similar landmark project executed by this entity, that is the affordable home ownership option for all soldiers, AWOAS for short, that's located at Idu, was commissioned about 3 weeks ago. The Post-Service Housing Development Limited's capacity to undertake projects of this magnitude attests to its growing profile as a reputable business entity in Nigeria's real estate development industry. The Nigerian Army is proud of this rebranded Post-Service Housing Development Limited that can deliver quality projects as at when due. I gather that this beautiful edifice we just commissioned took about 6 years to complete. The building brings to reality the dream of many of the past MDs of this organization, some of whom are proudly seated here this morning. I must acknowledge the part played by each of these past leaders of the company in grooming it into what it is today. Therefore, I congratulate the past and present managing directors, chief executive officers of the Post-Service Housing Development Limited for their commitment and service to the company and the Nigerian Army. You will agree with me that the importance of a befitting corporate headquarters such as this cannot be emphasized. This is because a building such as this enhances the status of a business organization and lends prestige that attracts other businesses. I believe this new building offers better space and modern facilities for quality business engagements that will further strengthen this company. As the Chief of Army Staff, my desire is to have a vibrant Post-Service Housing Development Limited that can help achieve one of my cardinal welfare schemes, which is the provision of befitting post-service accommodation for Nigerian Army officers and soldiers. I therefore charge the Managing Director, Chief Executive Officer of Post-Service Housing Development Limited, and his staff to optimize the benefits of this facility and further enhance the profile of the company. At this juncture, let me particularly commend the Managing Director, Chief Executive Officer of Post Housing Development Limited for completing and commissioning this befitting corporate headquarters building. Your commitment and efficiency in executing these direct labor projects aimed at bringing a conducive working and living environment for the company's workforce are commendable. The completion of this edifice stands as a glittering illustration of the outstanding achievements of this company's management and staff. It reflects professionalism, ingenuity, and unwavering commitment to excellence. I hope those coming after will consolidate this transformation that has gained traction in this company. Finally, the Nigerian Army remains ever grateful to the President, Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, Grand Commander of the Order of the Federal Republic, for his tireless support and continuous guidance to the Nigerian Army. The Nigerian Army shall remain focused and channel its energy and resources towards ensuring the actualization of Mr. President's commitment to secure the lives and properties of Nigerians and promote social welfare of his people. I also appreciate our guests, particularly former heads of the Post-Service Housing Development Limited, for making time to be with us this morning. I wish everyone a very eventful day at work. Thank you and God bless.
Guest of honor, may I request band to please. Ladies and gentlemen, the fanfare you just heard heralded the arrival Limited, Lieutenant General O.O. Oluyede, prestigious holder of Post Service Housing Development Limited, Director General, Nigerian Army Heritage and Future Center, Naval Holdings Limited, and Nigerian Air Force Holdings Limited, and Presidential Implementation Committee on Technology Transfer, National Agency for Science and on behalf of the Managing Director, Chief Executive Officer, Post Service Corporate Headquarters, Asokoro buildings, which consist of the Officers Lieutenant A. Nkonye, the Acting Public Relations Officer, Post Service Housing Event. The special guest of honor, sir. This headquarters building represents progress that have brought this vision to life. The special guest of honor, we shall commence the program with the welcome address and project profile commissioned project. Thereafter, we would have the opportunity as a vote of thanks and a group photograph to commemorate the event. May I now respectfully invite the Managing Director, welcome our esteemed guests, invite the former Commander Corps of Engineers, and also the past Managing Director, Chief Executive Officer. So please.
This morning, the Commission is beautifully structured and well-constructed edifice for use by the Post Service Housing Development Limited and for the generality of Nigerians who will be willing to have very good homes and very affordable homes too, to the glory of God and service of humanity. This corporate headquarters of Post Service Housing Development Limited was completed under the direction of Major General J.D. Omadi, the MD CEO of the organization, commissioned by myself this morning, 9 January 2025.
What? Sorry.
The marketing department, the IT, and all the support. But because of the large number, we need to
Distinguished invited guests, members of the press, ladies and gentlemen, It is with a great sense of honor and gratitude that I welcome the special guest of honor, Lieutenant General O.O. Oliede, the Chief of Army Staff, and the Chairman, Board of Directors, and all our distinguished guests to this auspicious occasion, the commissioning of the newly constructed Post-Service Housing Development Limited Corporate Headquarters, Officers' Residential Accommodation, the RSM's office and empty yard, the cafeteria, and places of worship. Today's occasion not only promises to be a significant one, but it also marks the remarkable milestone in the annals of Post-Service Housing Development Limited, and it's indeed a pleasure to have you here to witness this occasion. I wish to humbly crave the indulgence of the special guest of honor and all our distinguished invited guests to give a brief background to this project. The vision and desire by the past managing directors to have a befitting headquarters was finally approved about 6 years ago, and the groundbreaking was done by Lieutenant General T.Y. Buratai. This edifice, which was conceptualized and constructively sustained by my predecessors, is completed and stands as a testament to the vision, commitment, and hard work of the past managing directors. The need to redesign and add to the inherited building plan was necessitated by the quest to urgently address the accommodation challenges being confronted by Post-Service Development Limited officers, consideration to have the RSM's office and empty yard, while also prioritizing the welfare of PHDL workforce by providing a decent cafeteria and places of worship. A gym pavilion is also being considered for future development. The project to be commissioned today consists of fully equipped corporate headquarters, fully furnished 3 blocks of 18 flats of 2 bedrooms each, the RSM's office and empty yard, a cafeteria with a VIP section, as well as places of worship for Christians and Muslims. Furthermore, to complement the conducive working environment, the corporate headquarters is surrounded with a beautiful landscape and a well-spaced parking lot, which creates an impressive aesthetic view overseeing the officers' accommodation area, the cafeteria, and the places of worship. Other facilities available include lift movement facility, solar-powered source, firefighting equipment, boreholes, amongst others. The order for commissioning will be the corporate headquarters, the cafeteria, the staff accommodation, and finally, the RSM's office and empty yard. I am elated to state that this newly constructed corporate headquarters represents a new dawn in the history of the Post-Service Housing Development Limited and will serve as a professional trademark towards the company's mandate of providing modern shelter with global best practice. I am confident that the Post-Service Housing Development Limited, through the sterling leadership vision of our untiring Chief of Army Staff, will continue to thrive and make positive impacts on the welfare of the Nigerian Army and, by extension, the entire nation. As we all know, the Post-Service Housing Development Limited was established in 1996 to implement the Nigerian Army Housing Scheme with a mandate to provide affordable homes into which officers and soldiers of the Nigerian Army could retire into. The primary role of the Post-Service Housing Development Limited is to provide affordable homes and land to Nigerian Army personnel. The company has gone through various phases of reformation as new ideas and innovation have continued to be implemented over the years. This novel company has continued to deliver affordable and durable houses or vacant lands to serve the post-service accommodation needs of officers and men of the Nigerian Army. The Chief of Army Staff mandated the Post-Service Housing Development Limited to build 2- and 3-bedroom houses for soldiers. The first phase of 100 blocks of 4 flats of 2 bedrooms were commissioned by the Chief of Defense Staff at Idu, Abuja last month. Others are 30 blocks of 4 flats of 3 bedrooms at different stages of completion, also at Idu. Other sites are Odogbo in Ibadan and in Benin. These are very laudable projects by the Chief of Army Staff, which is in line with his command philosophy, which is to consolidate the transformation of the Nigerian Army towards bequeathing a well-motivated and combat-ready force that can efficiently discharge its constitutional responsibilities within a joint and multi-agency environment. And one of its cardinal pillars is sound administration, which is geared towards boosting the welfare and creation of a conducive working environment for the Nigerian Army personnel. This gave impetus towards the completion of the 6-year-old project, which was conceptualized and constructively sustained by my predecessors. The commissioning of the headquarters today simply shows that Post-Service Housing Development Limited is ready for greater tasks from the Chief of Army Staff, corporate organization, state governments, as well as the federal government. There is no doubt that the company stands prepared to contribute to the housing needs of the Nigerian citizens. At this juncture, sir, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I most respectfully wish to appreciate the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General O.O. Oluyede, for his support and enthusiasm to this laudable project. On assumption of office, I briefed him on the state of the projects embarked upon by the Post-Service Housing Development Limited, and his immense support has made this day a reality. Sir, this edifice stands as a testament of your commitment to excellence and determination to provide highly conducive working and residential environments for Nigerian Army personnel. We are most honored to be part of your legendary team, which is transforming the Nigerian Army and making history today. Thank you very much, sir. Finally, the special guest of honor, sir, senior officers, distinguished guests, permit me to specially acknowledge all past managing directors and chief executive officers, as well as past Commander Corps of Engineers, retired and serving senior officers, and other distinguished guests at this gathering. And I invite you all to explore the newly constructed corporate headquarters and other facilities. Thank you all, and God bless.